On night 2 over at the Losail International Circuit in Qatar. And fine margin split the factories, never a truer word spoken. 5 different factories right now inside the top 6, all 6 different brands occupying places in the top 10. What a mouth-watering prospect that
It's going to be a little while before we see what Jangan can really do, because he's got so much to take on as a guy with so little experience, coming from on big bikes, no Moto 2 time, coming from a bike that has a really high corner speed in Moto 3, but no straight line speed, to something that they're the fastest motorcycles in the world. To get your brain around that takes some time, and if you don't take time, you get hurt. So I think we shouldn't expect something special from Jangan for, I think, half a season. That's only fair, and then we'll really start towards the end of the season to see what he's made of. If he does it before that, then hats off to him.
0.6 of a second off, that's pretty exceptional already.
He's going to be pretty happy with that. We're just seeing actually some shots of Jangan with that new Suzuki, that double Suzuki exhaust system there that both Jangan and Alex Rins have been working through. As you'd expect, still a few new parts to be evaluated before the first race. Simon, you briefly touched on Fabio Quartararo in the first question we asked you. It's been a sensational start to 2019 for so many of the rookies. Pecco Bagnaia on the Alma Pram with Ducati, 2nd overall in Malaysia a couple of weeks ago. Tonight we can see Fabio Quartararo, really the star of the show, in 3rd place. Testing is testing. We know the reality will come to the fore when we get underway, when the lights go out in 2 weeks' time on the first race on March 10th. But Fabio Quartararo, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about him. I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, he was being touted as the next big thing, the next Valentino Rossi, the next Marc Marquez. His career, a few ups and downs since then. He was a surprise pick for many people to move to that new Petronas Yamaha team, but having got the opportunity, boy, is he embracing it, is he grasping it. Do you think Fabio Quartararo could be a real surprise package in 2019?
I mean, I don't think many people in the paddock would doubt that right now. Everybody really in 3rd right now, or when I walk to the camera here, the whole paddock's mouth's open a little bit, really, because as much as it's testing, and we can't read too much into who's in front right now, it'll change, The thing is about Fabio is, even to run at that pace with this amount of, and consistently he's doing it at every test, he's going well, and we know the Yamaha's a good bike to get on for a rookie, or pretty much anyone that gets on it goes fast. And what Zarco did on it shocked everyone, so it is possible. He's a talent, like you said, everyone thought he would make the rise right through Moto 2, maybe win the World Championship there, but the thing is, there's no substitute for miles on the bike, and he had a little bump in the road trying to figure it out in Moto 2, but it looks like he hasn't lost that talent. Give him a year or so on this bike, and he could be another Maverick, definitely another Zarco. And again, I'd like to repeat, the guy you're looking on the screen there, he's 19 years old. Randy, I'd like to throw in there, that isn't it great? I was sad to see the 2 strokes go, but it's so nice to see the young guys not get hurt. They get on these bikes and they're a lot more forgiving than they used to on safety wise, and it's so good. Again, I'm excited to remember when Pedrosa was retiring, and I've always been a Danny fan, and right into beginning of last year. But the great thing about Danny, when he did decide to hang up, rather than be sad, I was so excited about these new boys coming in. And this is what we get to see, like talent. You go, wow, we didn't expect that. So I'm super excited.
Do you got any news there about, Simon, about the KTM guys? I mean, Paul Espargaro obviously shot up quite early on in the session and was up to 6th place. He's a half a second quicker, I believe, than his time last year, which is a good step forward, because as he said yesterday, he tried a lot of different things, different chassis and so on, because without having our friend Danny Pedrosa there as a test rider, it's been very, very difficult. And Zarco, for some reason, looked to be struggling for quite a long time, but he also has improved now a half a second. The problem there is he's still down in 17th place, but that is the same garage and something to be had by looking at the data and being able to move forward.
Yeah, the thing is, you mentioned it last night, how KTM have those things up against them at the moment. They've got to put the whole package together. And the real obvious one to me is Pol is one of his riding style somehow, Pol Espargaro, suits the KTM, you know. Whatever it is entry-wise that he does, it suits him. He can do it, or he's learnt how to do it over the last year or so. And it looks like the other guys that come from the other bikes, they don't get comfy straight away. They have to really work on it. And I don't know whether KTM, to me, they're going to have to change whatever it is that is difficult to ride about it, especially front end wise. That's what the feedback I get. And you know, if it's only Pol that can ride it at this speed, it's going to be a problem. I think KTM have to figure out what that is. You know, it's easier said than done, but so all four or maybe more in the future riders can ride it fast and be competitive. But at the moment, they're a long way away from that goal. And sorry, go back to Zaka, who's on the screen here. He has always said, I think I've mentioned it on the show before, that he uses the front end a lot. That's where he fires it in there, and when he's comfortable with that, then he figures out how to get it out of the turn, get the exit. And it looks like a lot of the days here, he doesn't get past trying to get it into the turn.
Well, thanks